You are listening to The Ron Van Dam Show. That's one part blah, 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 one part ha, 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 and just a smidgen of ta-da!
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. It's The Ron Van Dam Show.
I'm over here.
Hold on tight, things can get a bit weird, if you like that sort of thing.
Hey, my eyes are up here. Okay? You know, I can see you through your speaker. The technology is already there. You don't realize it. I'm just asking you very kindly, put your knees together. I can't do a show when you're looking like that. Also, you got a little something on the right above the lip. No, on the other side. Yeah, right. No, higher. Right there. Right. Is that a piece of meat? Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Welcome to the program. I am Ron Van Dam. I'm part of the title. That should give you a clue. How are you? I'll be with you for about half an hour. After that, you're on your own. I can't beyond a half an hour. You've got to take your own responsibility in your own life. I can't do this anymore. So I'm just doing a half an hour. Welcome to the program. Thanks so much for being here. My gratitude for everything that you've ever done to anybody. You're a wonderful person, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, a lot of people say, Ron, because it's my name, they address me accordingly. They say, Ron, you think you know so much. You talk about like every subject matter and all that stuff. Who do you think you are? That's so funny. It happens to be that I am a sociological expert. I received a high degree in sociology, which is a study of social people. And my conclusion is that people suck. And I've lived my entire life with that realization. When I was 2 years old, I remember lying in the crib. And people said, Ron, you're 2 years old. You shouldn't be in a crib anymore. I know. But I remember lying there and saying, oh, God, this sucks. I remember saying that. That's the realization. People are not there to make you feel good and make you feel pretty and to kowtow to you and to follow your every wishes and desires. That is not their purpose. They have their own lives, and most of their lives are pretty ridiculous. People are not helpful. They are barriers. Ron, that sounds... See, I'm talking to myself. Ron, that sounds like very negative and very pessimistic. Oh, no, that's your analysis of it. It's just the truth. And people are out for themselves. That's all. It's survival. We're animals. We're human beings who are animals. We are animals. We're part of the classification of animals. We're not plants. And what we do is we survive. A whole different way of doing it than wild animals in the forest or in the jungle, but we still are out to survive. And in doing so, you protect your family and you protect yours, and that is the gatherer-hunter kind of attitude that we still live with for today. So is there any wonder that we are not here to make everybody on the earth better? Well, that's where religion comes in, where they tell you, no, everybody on the earth, you must care for everybody. You are the mother of the earth. And in theory, it was a nice book. Thanks for the suggestion, but that's not the way it is. So here we are. life is very, very simple if you want to be successful and you want to be happy. And I've said this so many times before. Respect is the underlying thing. RESPECT. I know how to spell it because that was in the song. Otherwise, I'd never know how to spell something like that. Respect, which means you treat other people the way that you would want to be treated. It seems so simple. How could you not know how you want to be treated? How could you not know that? Of course you know that. You turn it around and you treat other people like that, and there you've got your formula for everybody being happy. It's not a difficult deal. It's not a math equation. If you want to be treated like that, treat other people like that. If you don't want to be treated like that, don't treat other people like that. Now that is great if everybody did it, but not everybody does it. As a matter of fact, very few do. But that's the formula to a social environment of success. That's the way it is. I mean, you break everything down to its simplest components, and that's where you end up. So, let's think about your childhood right now. Shall we delve into that? I've got some time. How about you? Again, I've got a time clock on this thing. I'm out of here it's a half-hour show. I'm out of here in about, 24 minutes. So, we got time. Let's talk about your childhood. Did you enjoy your childhood, or was it very difficult and painful? Well, it's like one or the other. You can't say, oh, my childhood was okay. No, I'm sorry. I'm not buying that. Was it pleasurable and wonderful? Do you look back on it with fond memories? Or was it horrendously horrible? And the reason it would be horrendously horrible would be that people treated you very poorly. They didn't respect you. They treated you bad. Your parents, your friends, your siblings. Or was your childhood pretty good? Was happy? Had some bumps and some problems, but basically it was pretty cool. Well, not that many people say that, or they may say that just to say that. But most people go into the category of, oh, my childhood, it was not easy. It was a rough one. And they spent all of their lives trying to correct it. Here's the thing about childhood, which is very, very interesting. What happens during your childhood shapes you for the rest of your life. Oh my God, what a waste of a life. I know. Now, I didn't have a wonderful childhood, but it was in that category. Again, nobody's like 100% in any way. It's like a 60-40, a 70-30. Okay, fine. But I did learn one thing. Forget the stuff that you don't want to remember. It's like selective memory loss. It works really nice. Why would you want to hang on to the things that caused you stress and ugliness? Why would you hang on with that for the rest of your life? Well, you don't do it on purpose necessarily, but you got to realize that's what you're doing sometimes. You got to dismiss the crap. What do you do when you take a shit in the toilet? Oh, Ron, seriously, you're going to go there? Yeah, because I'm trying to make a point. What do you do when you crap in the toilet? Do you let it sit there? Do you go back and visit it like once a week as it's floating on top of the water? This is disgusting, Ron. Stop it right now. No, you immediately flush it, and you never think about it again. That's what you do with crap. Give it a shot. Try it. Now, unfortunately, we're human beings, and we have memory banks. It's the only bank where anything is really saved for a long period of time. Certainly the ones with money, that doesn't work out too well. But the memory bank, that's a tough one. The trick is to forget the stuff that was nasty. Now, you can learn lessons from mistakes and nasty things, but then you use it and you move on. Did the nasty things not occur? Well, actually, no, they didn't. Because I dismissed them. Nasty things, you have been dismissed. Go home now. I never want to see you again. Those of us that take the better parts of life and hold those into the memory bank of fun are far better off stress-wise. If you live your life remembering every horrible thing that happened to you in incredible detail, you're going to have some real bad stress moments in your life. In conversation, let's use a different barometer here. When you're in conversation with somebody and you're talking about any subject matter whatsoever, and when it starts to get a little bit personal, like, do you like this? Do you like that? Did you do this? Did you do that? If you start saying, well, I don't do that because this horrible thing happened to me, well, then, you're going into an area that really makes no sense. But if you say, well, this horrible thing happened to me, but I replaced it with this, and that was really cool. So you got to get the good stuff to blend in with the bad stuff if you're stuck on the bad stuff. Blend it. It's like a blender, like you're making a smoothie or something. Well, I don't care for strawberries, but I know they're good for me. I'm going to put it in the blender with stuff that I like. I like blackberries, and I like pineapple. I mean, I really don't. I'm making an example. And you put that in the smoothie, and then you go, this smoothie's pretty good. But there's strawberries in it. You hate strawberries. I know, but I also got the good stuff in it. That's my example of how you should be living your life. Am I telling you how to live your life? Yeah. Let's talk about raising children, shall we? Because children are different. They're little people that don't know what the fuck they're doing. And it's difficult because you want to give them boundaries. Children love boundaries. They need boundaries because in life there are boundaries. Here's the problem, kids. When you're raising a child, what are you raising them for? What's your purpose in raising that child? So that they can go out someday and live their own lives. It's the animal bird theory. You build a nest, you get in the nest, you screw your brains out, and then you have little eggs. They hatch. You go out in the morning and you get the worms and the food, and you fly back to the nest and you feed the little birdies. And someday those little birdies, their wings will spread, and they will want to fly away. And they do. And they fly away. And they build their own nest. And they have their own families. And that's the circle of life. I'm not going to play that song because I don't have the rights to do it, but you know the song. And that's what animals do. And that's what we do as humans because we're animals. So what are we doing? We should be prepping these kids for life. Not for childhood, not for school, but for life. And here's some of the things that happen in life that we don't prep the kids for. And that is specifically, people in life will tell you no. What? When I was growing up, no one told me no. That's not good. Because in life, there's going to be lines of people that are going to tell you no. There's going to be signs that say, don't touch this, don't go there. There's going to be people that say, you can't do this, you're not allowed to do this, you can't do this here. That's what life is. You pursue your dreams by getting around these boundaries of people that have told you no. You don't have fits, you don't go crazy, you don't cry, you don't shake with anxiety. You say, oh, no is a thing. As a parent, you should be saying no a lot because that's what they learn is going to happen in life. But here's the trick, man. You don't just say no. You don't sternly say no. You don't say no with fear in your voice, with threats of violence. You say no and you explain why. This is why you shouldn't do this. You really can't do this. And this is why. It's not the perfect way of doing it, but at least it's the better way of doing it than just saying no. And that's how you raise a child. That's the thesis. It's the thesis. And you let the children watch you do your thing, which means you have to, at least around the children, make it look like you've got it together. You know what to do, how to do it, and that's what you should do, little child. We should keep everything neat and clean, and we shouldn't yell and scream. We can raise our voice and show our emotions. That's okay to do. Let it out. Let it out. That's okay. The greatest example to a child is his or her parents. And then beyond that, because the parent thing, it's important, but it's not everything. Children learn from their peers. That's where they get the real education. Sex education from the parents? I don't think so. From the classroom? I don't think so. From their peers and their friends? 100%. Life is learned through your friends, not as much through your parents. And children have to make mistakes. We all have to make mistakes. People that don't make mistakes never learn, Donald Trump. You have to make mistakes. And as parents, we just hope that those mistakes won't be incredibly horrible, because some of them will. But that's the learning process. That's how you learn. It's not just sitting in the classroom learning how to multiply and divide and add and subtract. And that Columbus discovered America, which he really questioned that greatly. It's not that. It's the life lessons that we learn. Raising a child is the most difficult thing you'll ever do. Ever. But it's part of that life cycle thing. It's the most important thing you'll ever do. You're shaping a life that will outlive you. Hopefully. All right, have I talked enough for one day? I believe I have. Do I think I'm the Pope? Once again, no, I don't. Should I be the Pope? You bet your ass I should. I think we should all feel popish. And that's not a word. Popical? I don't think that works either. Pious? I don't even know. Look, bottom line, teach yourself, teach your kids, treat others the way that you would want to be treated. Wipe your hands, you're done. Live like that, and you're good. People are going to crap on you when you're nice to them. That's true. But you have to know that, and you have to realize there are good people and there are bad people, sometimes more bad than good. Your success in life is how to navigate all that crap. Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about, speaking of raising children, all of a sudden, peanut allergies all over the place. And if you were from another generation, you'd say, we didn't have that problem back then. What the hell's going on? Because the number of peanut allergy concerns and children that suffer from this peanut allergy is kind of through the roof. How did that happen? I don't know. We'll take a break. When we come back, our guest will join us. But first, there's this.
That thing you've been looking for is on sale this week at whatchamacallits, your one-stop shop for that stuff you need. Get that round thing for the sink, 2 for just $6.99. Hoosamajigs that go on the door, just $3.99 each. The stuff that gets stains out of stuff that comes in that big blue bottle, you'll find it for $5.99 at whatchamacallits. The doodad that goes in your car, like the one Gary has for his Jeep, you know the thing, it's like squarish and purple. It's on sale this week for just $49.99. And the thing that, you use to get the stuff down from like the shelf or the closet, the grabby thing? 2 for $10.99. This week only at Whatchamacallits, your one-stop shop for that stuff you need. We're located over by that pizza place near the cinema that you like. Whatchamacallits.
Dr. Douglas Mack, he's a pediatric allergist, and Sarah Qureshi is a mother and caregiver of a peanut allergic child. We're talking about, obviously, peanut allergies. Thank you for being with us today.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Let's start by, here's a wonderment. Apparently, there are more peanut allergies affected people more than ever. And why would that be?
That is a great question. I think there are so many reasons as to why this might be occurring, and I think we know that the rate of all allergies are increasing across the world. And part of this, I think, is that we are really a very hygienic culture. But what that can do is shift the immune response away from a protective response and can also stimulate allergy. The other thing that we've noted is that there can be a hesitation to give peanuts to younger children, understandably, because of reactions. But what we know is that young babies actually may benefit or do benefit from early exposure to peanuts. So this is a kind of a key time. We really want to get that peanut in and teach them that peanut is totally reasonable for them to eat and build that tolerance early. And I think that many of us will avoid that, and that certainly has been associated with increased rates of peanut allergy, unfortunately.
Interesting. But Sarah, you're in a situation where this is of a concern for you, I understand.
Yes. I thought I was doing everything right. To Dr. Mack's point, I started giving my daughter foods with peanut in it when she was under the age of 1, and she reacted instantly. It was not something I expected.
Right. So, so doctor, what happens in a case like that where it just happens like that?
Mm-hmm. This is very common. We see patients who will have that kind of initial exposure to peanut, and then they'll be referred to an allergist, and then they'll come and see us, and then we can test. As you mentioned, this increase in prevalence is through the roof, and over the past 20 years, and so there's been a growing need for an effective treatment option. When most of our families come to us, the options we have are counseling that they should avoid peanut, and we prescribe them an epinephrine auto-injector. Right. But unfortunately, what often can happen is that avoidance is not enough, and accidental reactions happen, unfortunately, despite our best efforts. So this is, I think, a concern that we face as clinicians, but also that the parents face on a daily basis.
Yeah. It's kind of amazing how the immune system is so basically ineffective in such a large amount of the population, where we expected it would work top notch all the time, but it's not the case a lot.
You're right. I mean, I think this is think of allergy as the immune system making a mistake. It shouldn't make that mistake, and we want to try to correct that mistake as early as possible. So this is really kind of where our options for treatment, even from a prevention perspective, are really heading. And this is I think the teaching the immune response immune system is actually probably the most important thing. Correcting the mistake it's made.
Sarah, how are you dealing with this?
It's a stress that I carry. My daughter is 4.5, and she's at an age where everybody wants to share treats. Everybody wants to be kind to each other, and she doesn't quite understand. Although she knows that peanuts can make her ill, she doesn't quite understand what it can do to her, and I do, and I think about it every day when she's at school, when she goes to parties, when there are fun events like Halloween or Easter. It's always in the forefront of my mind.
Yeah. But I would imagine as your child gets older and starts realizing how to monitor her own choices, that would become a bit easier. But right now it's all on you, right?
It is. And, while I'd like to think it would become easier at some point, she'll want to go out to restaurants and do things with her friends. And I also think about her ability to say no or make the right choice or just know what to do should she accidentally eat something with peanut.
Right. Well, I mean, if she has repercussions, she'll learn quickly at a point, that's the case. But I know so many people under the same circumstance, and it's monitoring things. I mean, the people with the diabetic and with the insulin and all that, I mean, that's another immune system body not being able to do what it's supposed to do, and know tons of people like that. It's unfortunate. Doctor, where are we as far as research is concerned?
Right. I mean, I'm really excited. I think, we talked about correcting that mistake, and I think, I'm an investigator for a phase 3 clinical study called VITESSE. It's for an investigational skin patch called Via Skin Peanut, and this trial is for peanut allergic children ages 4 to 7 years of age, and what it is doing is trying to correct it, trying to retrain immune system by giving a very, very small amount of peanut. It's about 1/1000th of a peanut that's going into this patch. And this patch is applied directly onto the back. So the child does not actually have to eat it, but there's ongoing skin contact. And what it does is re-educate that immune system over that time. Yeah. When these kids are treated, it leads to desensitization, which refers to the ability for them to eat more peanut protein before experiencing an allergic reaction, making it less likely that a child will have a reaction after accidental exposure. So that they still have to avoid peanut, and they still have to carry epinephrine auto-injector for the most part, but it provides a buffer protection, kind of like acting like a seatbelt. It can be a potentially life-saving tool for these patients and prevent accidental reactions for children who are exposed. It's a great option to try to retrain. This is where our field is heading.
Interesting. All right. There's so many people in these circumstances. Tell us where they can go for support.
Yeah. I think if families are interested to find out if this clinical trial might be good for their peanut allergic child or their family, visit the VITESSE website at vitesseallergystudy.com.
Mm-hmm. Do you liken this type of allergy to all other allergies? Again, I don't know anybody that doesn't have an allergy during certain times of the year. Most people all year long, and they take medication on a daily basis. I mean, is this a similar situation on another level?
It is. It's a spectrum of disease that we're seeing, whether it's environmental allergies, whether it's food allergy, whether it's insect venom or medication. This is a spectrum of disease that we are seeing on the increase really across the board. So we are really trying to not just say avoid and here's your medication. How can we be proactive, and how can we really retrain the immune response and shift this away from this mistake? There's no reason that a body should react to grass pollen or dog or peanut. It just doesn't make sense, and that's why I think options like this are just great and the future of our treatment options.
Sarah, is it also a situation where the public has to be informed that this circumstance takes place? They don't want to be responsible for anything horrible happening. Is there an education on that end of it as well?
Absolutely. I think that's a part of the stress I carry as my child's parent, is just making sure that everybody in her school, her friends' parents, or my family, that they understand the implications. And it's just a daily thing now. It's become a part of my life.
Yeah. I know in restaurants, for the most part, actually also for liability purposes, they have to ask if anybody has an allergy at the table. But that's just restaurants. That's not enough. But, I mean, I guess it's something, right?
It helps. I still have to do my due diligence, and it's been a learning curve. It's an ongoing one. Yeah.
A lot of people do due diligence just letting their children go down the bus stop. I mean, it's a never ending in many categories. Okay. Thanks for the information one more time. Where to go for support and information?
Yeah, if they're interested and they think that they might be a good fit for their peanut allergic child, it's the VITESSE website at vitesseallergystudy.com.
Great.
Thanks so much.
Thank you, Dr. Mack, and thank you, Sarah, for the information. We appreciate it. All right, thank you to my guests, and thank you to you. I'll be back again tomorrow with a brand new program, but until that time arrives, I wish you peace.